Welcome to your personal revolution.
Hi, everyone.
If you're, maybe in your 40s and you're feeling that sort of pull for something more, especially maybe in your relationships or just unlocking your own potential.
Then yeah, you've definitely landed in the right place.
Absolutely.
You're here to explore how you can really connect better with yourself first and then build those stronger, more fulfilling relationships. It's not always about grand gestures, right? It's more about understanding what makes us all tick.
It really is. I'm Bibadura, and as a life and mindset coach, I see it all the time, how our own internal stuff, those beliefs we don't even realize we have, the emotional habits,
Yeah.
they can be the biggest roadblocks, honestly, in creating the love and the life that you actually want. So my focus is really helping you spot those blocks and navigate through them.
And I'm Max. Working alongside B, my role is kind of bringing a practical angle to all this. I look at how we can use, let's say, clearer frameworks, tangible shifts in how you see things, really to build healthier connections and, well, unlock that personal growth we're talking about. Think of it like providing the actionable steps that really work hand in hand with B's insights into the why.
Exactly, because ultimately our mission working together here is to give you both the understanding and the practical tools.
Tools you can use.
Yes, tools you can actually use to, take charge, to actively shape your personal evolution, especially in how you relate to yourself and to other people.
We really believe that understanding your own mind, your own patterns, and the dynamics in your relationships, that's just key. It's fundamental to living a more empowered and, frankly, more joyful life.
It is.
It's about spotting those patterns, maybe ones you've been repeating, and then making conscious choices to do things differently.
So if you're ready to really dive into what it takes to build those stronger bonds and tap into your potential right now at this stage of life, then stick with us.
We're genuinely excited to explore these really important parts of personal growth with you.
Welcome, truly, to your personal revolution.
Okay, so just as we sort of close out this initial thought, maybe consider this. Your personal revolution, whether it's in relationships or just your own growth, it isn't really about finding some, perfect finish line.
That's such a good point. It's not. It's really an ongoing thing, right? A process of learning, changing, evolving.
Exactly.
So maybe just think about this. What's one small shift? Just one tiny change in...
Okay, let's get into this.
Yeah.
You know that feeling, right? That sense that you're just going through the motions, like ticking off the boxes. Your career seems fine. Relationships are okay. Maybe you even have hobbies. You're doing all the things.
Functioning. Absolutely.
Wow.
On the surface, everything looks, how it's supposed to look.
Exactly. But underneath, there's this, I don't know, this quiet fog starting to settle in. You look around at the life you've built, and it looks right, but...
You don't quite recognize yourself in it anymore.
Yes.
That's precisely.
And that feeling, it's incredibly common. It's usually not about being fundamentally broken or anything dramatic like that. It's more subtle.
Like you said, a fog, a disconnection.
Exactly. A disconnection. You're still capable getting things done, but somehow you've lost touch with your own inner world, your sense of self.
So that's what we're diving into today. We want to really unpack what that disconnection is.
Yeah, explore maybe why it happens, what gets lost when you're in that fog. And crucially, how you can start finding your way back. So if you've ever felt that quiet restlessness, that sense that something's missing even when things look okay, this deep dive is for you.
And it often shows up as, a kind of low-level confusion, doesn't it?
Yeah, not always a big breakdown.
No, not at all. More like an absence of real desire. You show up, you do what's expected, but inside there's this subtle emptiness.
That maybe you've just gotten used to.
Sadly, yes. Over time, it can just become the norm.
Like a low battery light you've learned to tune out. So why does this happen? How do people end up feeling this disconnected?
Well, it often develops gradually as a kind of coping mechanism. Think about it, maybe years of putting everyone else's needs first.
Family, work, partners.
Yeah.
Yeah, your own stuff gets pushed down.
Right. Or maybe avoiding difficult emotions felt safer at some point because feeling them was just too overwhelming, perhaps based on past experiences.
Or just living in survival mode for a long stretch.
Exactly. Just getting through the day, your system kind of adapts by muting that inner landscape, turning down the volume on your own feelings and needs.
So it's not really a personal failing then. It's more like a strategy that just stuck around too long.
That's a great way to put it. It was likely an adaptation, maybe even necessary for a time. But the problem is, what helped you cope back then can end up keeping you stuck now.
Disconnected from the very things you need to actually feel alive, to thrive.
Precisely. It becomes the default setting, even when the original reasons for it are long gone.
And this isn't just a vague feeling, is it? It goes deeper. I remember reading about the impact on, like, your actual brain.
Yes, absolutely. It gets really fascinating there. Consistently suppressing emotions, staying detached from your inner world, it seems it can actually influence brain function over time.
How so?
While some research suggests reduced activation in brain areas important for things like motivation, making decisions that align with who you really are, and even experiencing pleasure or reward.
Which areas are we talking about?
Areas like the prefrontal cortex that's involved in planning and, complex decision making, and the ventral striatum, which is linked to motivation and how we process rewards.
Okay, so let's connect that back to everyday experience. If those parts of your brain are running a bit dimmer, let's say, because of this disconnection, what does that feel like?
It feels like that fog we mentioned. It means those really basic fundamental questions become incredibly hard to answer authentically. Like,
Yeah.
what do I actually want right now? Or what truly feels right for me? What direction feels like mine? Those signals get really blurry.
So your own desires get drowned out by maybe what you think you should want or what others expect.
Exactly. And your energy just drains away because you're not plugged into things that genuinely nourish you. You might find yourself chasing external goals constantly.
A promotion, more money, the next milestone.
Right. Thinking that will fix it. Believing those external things will fill that inner gap.
But they can't, can they? Because they're not connected to what's really going on inside.
They just can't satisfy that deeper need if they aren't rooted in your own truth.
So it sounds like real clarity isn't about just thinking harder or analyzing more.
No, that's a crucial point. True inner clarity doesn't come from more mental effort alone. It emerges from reconnection.
Reconnection, that sounds gentle. Almost like giving yourself permission,
And that's essentially what it is. It's about giving yourself permission. Permission to pause, first of all.
which is hard in our busy lives.
So hard. Permission to quiet down and actually listen inwards. Permission to just feel whatever is there without judging it or needing to fix it immediately.
I can almost hear some people thinking, pause, feel,
Yeah.
I don't have time. Especially if you're used to being the strong one, the high achiever, the one holding it all together.
Absolutely. For people used to constantly doing or taking care of others, slowing down can feel really counterintuitive, maybe even unproductive or, I don't know, scary.
Like losing control.
Yes. But that pause, that intentional act of getting quiet and turning inward, that's exactly where everything starts to shift. It might feel difficult, but it's the necessary first move.
Because that's the only way to hear that quieter voice inside. The one that
Yeah.
gets drowned out by all the noise.
Precisely. True clarity, your inner knowing,
Oh, yeah.
it doesn't usually shout, it whispers.
So you need to create the quiet to hear it.
You have to get quiet enough, create enough internal space to actually perceive it.
So how does someone know if they're actually ready for this? Ready to start reconnecting? What are the signs?
Well, there are a few common indicators. You might feel it if you've achieved a lot externally, hit those milestones.
Got the job, the house.
Right. But there's still this nagging feeling of being unfulfilled underneath it all. Or maybe noticing you've lost touch with things that used to genuinely excite you.
Yeah, that spark feels gone.
Or your life looks full, your calendar's packed, but inside you feel like you're still searching for something more, something deeper.
A craving for authenticity, maybe. For real connection, meaning.
Exactly that. And also just feeling fundamentally tired of performing, tired of keeping up appearances, ready to just feel real again.
That makes so much sense.
Yeah.
It sounds less like becoming someone new and more like remembering who you already are, like coming home to yourself.
That's a perfect way to think about it. Reconnection isn't about inventing a new self. It's a return.
A return to your own truth, your intuition.
Remembering who you were, who you are, underneath all the layers of expectations and responsibilities and those old coping patterns that maybe don't fit anymore. It's not about blowing up your life overnight.
Okay, so if someone hears this and thinks, yes, that's me, I feel that readiness, where do they even start? Especially if pausing feels hard. What's the very first practical step?
This is so important, and it's foundational. The absolute first step, the thing that underpins everything else, is creating a sense of safety within yourself.
Safety. Why safety?
Because your nervous system needs to feel safe enough to even allow you to slow down, to listen inwards, to access that deeper clarity without feeling threatened or overwhelmed. It needs to know it's okay to let the guard down a bit.
Ah, okay. So it's not about pushing yourself or being critical.
No, quite the opposite. The whole process has to start with compassion, self-compassion, giving yourself permission to be exactly where you are right now without pressure.
Build the internal safety first, and then the clarity can start to emerge.
Exactly. And you start building that safety with really small, manageable actions. It doesn't have to be huge.
Like what?
Like consciously creating tiny moments of stillness in your day, maybe just 5 minutes sitting quietly and noticing your breath. Nothing fancy.
Okay.
Or journaling, maybe, but without an agenda. No pressure to be profound or solve anything, just letting thoughts flow onto the page, creating a bit of space that way.
Keep getting it out.
Yeah. Or simply paying attention during your day. What gives you a little bit of energy? What drains you? No judgment, just noticing the patterns.
Tuning into your body, too. That tension in your shoulders or maybe a feeling of lightness.
Yes, those physical signals are huge clues. These small, consistent acts, they send a really powerful message back to yourself, to your nervous system.
What message is that?
The message is, okay, I'm listening now. I'm here with you. So just to kind of wrap up our deep dive today, we've talked about how that feeling of being in a fog, that disconnection, often starts as a way to cope.
Yeah, a strategy that stuck around.
Right. And we looked at how it can actually impact your sense of clarity, your motivation, even how your brain functions, sometimes leading you to chase external things that don't really satisfy.
But the way back isn't about forcing things.
No, the path back is about gentle reconnection, starting with that crucial, often overlooked step, creating safety within yourself.
Making it okay to slow down and actually start listening to that inner voice again.
Exactly.
It's a really powerful shift in perspective. You're not broken or lost forever. You're just waiting for that reconnection. And the path forward, the way back to yourself, it isn't somewhere out there you have to find. It's already inside you.
Which leads to the real question to maybe sit with after this. What has been waiting inside you to speak? Maybe for a very long time.
And are you willing to create the quiet, the safety, to finally hear it?
So we often hear from you, right, about reaching that point where you just, you sense there's something more, that feeling.
Yeah, like you're capable of breaking through something. And honestly, from everything we've seen guiding people, that feeling, it's usually spot on.
Absolutely. There's this incredible potential inside everyone, and it often just starts with acknowledging, okay, I'm ready to move past this thing that feels limiting.
And what's really interesting is that those limits, they are always these, huge concrete walls. Sometimes it's more subtle.
Like habits of thinking.
Exactly. Or emotional patterns that maybe keep you going in circles. The real key, we find, is sort of bringing those unconscious things into the light.
Right. Creating space for something new by seeing the old patterns. And, guiding people through this, the biggest hurdle isn't always the big change itself. It's often just getting started.
That first step, it's shifting from just wanting it to, well, actively doing something about it.
Yeah, making that conscious choice to actually engage with those maybe emotional blocks or beliefs.
And look, if you're feeling that readiness, if this conversation resonates and you're thinking, okay, I want to take that step, we've actually designed something specific for this.
We have. It's a focused experience we're calling Your Personal Revolution.
Think of it as a dedicated pathway, a way to really begin that process of breaking free.
And over 7 days, the main goal really is to help you start identifying and understanding those emotional blockages.
Yeah, and the limiting beliefs, too, that might be holding you back from, feeling the way you actually want to feel deep down.
It's about kicking off a genuine shift, starting that deeper transformation inside.
When it's practical. That's important. Each day, you get a specific task. It's not just theory.
No vague ideas. These are actionable things, exercises designed to boost your self-awareness.
Right, and connect you with what really feels authentic for you.
So the real value here, it's about actively participating in your own emotional transformation, day by day.
You'll be taking concrete steps, little by little, to understand and work through whatever feels stuck.
And to help you with that, especially in this initial phase, we've put together some specialized tools.
Yeah, and inspiring materials, too, things drawn from our experience and work. It's all structured, step by step.
So you can navigate it without feeling, completely overwhelmed by it all.
Exactly.
And we really believe that this kind of opportunity, this chance to initiate real personal change, it should be accessible to anyone who feels that pull towards growth.
Absolutely. Which is why we wanted to offer this Your Personal Revolution Challenge with a Name your price approach.
Meaning you decide. You decide the value you want to place on this 7-day experience.
Based on what feels right for you, what fits your situation right now, and I guess your commitment level to starting this journey.
It puts you in control right from the start.
Yeah, you're in the driver's seat.
So if this is speaking to you, if you're feeling that inner nudge towards something more, and you feel ready to take that really crucial first step, you can find all the details, everything you need to know about how to join the 7-day Your Personal Revolution. It's all available via the link in our profile description.
We genuinely believe in your potential for positive change. We see it all the time.
We do.
Consider this an invitation, really. An invitation to start exploring that potential within you.
And to begin creating that emotional freedom you're looking for. It's possible.
It really is. Just take that first step.